Ooh, hello. You cannot flip a phone back around once you start the videos. But I do want to say hello and excuse that I look like a sweaty mess, but I just got off my horse and it is really hot outside. But I do want to talk about fly control because for once, I think I got a decent handle on it. So let's talk about it. Flip back around. Do it the real manual way. So if you look around my barn, I can't find a single fly, which I'm sure there are some flies in here, but very, very, very few flies. And usually this time of year, we have a ton of flies by now, and there really just aren't any. So I want to talk about some of the things that I've tried. Some of this might be weather, but for right now, I'm thinking it's the stuff that I've been trying. One of them is that I pick the stalls every day, and I put it in this little cart right here. It's not very big because I spread it every single day. I use the four-wheeler, I drag it out to the fields. I find a spot that looks like it needs some soil amendment. I dump it out and I kick it around to get it nice and spread out nice and thin so the fly larvae really just can't develop because they're cooking in the sun. So that's the first thing I've done. The second thing is kind of like science, I guess, and that I've added Simplify to the horses' feed each day. And so it's just a little scoop. Each one gets, I'll show how big it is. It's this little teeny scoop once a day. And what it does is that while the flies still have lay their eggs in the manure, they can't develop. It does something to it. It doesn't hurt the horses. It just goes right through them. No issues at all. I also added this year, and I had tried that Simplify last year, and I saw a big difference. So this year, I added a mineral by Purina that has Clarify in it, which is basically the same thing for the sheep. And I wasn't sure how that would work, but that seems to be working. Really, that's been a huge difference because I have somewhere between 20 and 40 sheep at a time. They're out in that pasture out there. And I think that's made a huge, huge difference. I also drag my fields on a regular basis so that it's breaking up the manure that the horses are naturally depositing out in the fields rather than the ones that I dump. So that's spreading it. Let's see, what else have I done? So the chickens are another source. And so basically every animal is a source of flies and fly issues, right? So the chickens are harder because I didn't know what to give them. There is no feed through for them. And every time they just create manure, or they're in an enclosed space. And I was getting tons and tons and tons of flies. I would go into their fly coop and there would be, it looked like a fly infestation. They were everywhere. So I added these little dudes. I don't know, they're called Fly Remedy, I think. I'm gonna walk in here and you can see exactly what they are. Here come the chickens, they hear me coming. Hello. These hens are funny. And there's still some flies in here, but it used to be it was basically solid flies. So this is the little guy right here. It's called Outdoor Fly Trap by Rescue. It's reusable, so you can dump it out because I hate disposable things. You put in this little fly attractant, a little bit of water, you hang them, and it fills with flies. And you can see, I don't know if you can see how many are in there, but it's a lot. There's a whole lot of flies in there. There you go. There's a nice little look. Ooh, it's disgusting. It smells terrible, but really has worked. And there are substantially less flies in here. I would say 10% of what there used to be. So I'm really pleased with that. So between spreading the manure, dragging the fields, Simplify and Clarify for the feed throws, and then these fly traps, I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. So that's nice. I do still use fly spray for the horses, and I switched to a new variety of that as well, which I should have shown you when I was in the tack room, but I didn't. But I'll show you real quick. Hope I can get over there early. You're not going to hang out with me too long out here. I was at the tack store, and they said, oh, well, we have this new kind with new technology. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But it does seem to be working pretty well. So let's see. It's Endure Gold. It's this stuff right here. I will say it seems to be working a bit better than the stuff I've used in the past. We'll see how it does in August. Oh, and then the last thing I do is I have these little spray things up there. They're like very much like the air fresheners you see in gas station bathrooms, but it sprays, I think, every 15 minutes. a small spray just in the barn, and I also have one that's between the two horses' stalls. And that's it. But I really have almost no flies. It's been a great year so far. I'll update you to see if they continue to work, but I've never had this few flies ever this late into the season. So I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks.